All right, hello YouTube, back at it again with another video. So today we're going to dive into the Kansas race in NASCAR and the IndyCar race at Long Beach, which is the longest running street course race in all of North America. So we're running the last 50 years. And if that has anything to say about like racing in that area or just racing in North America in general, that's pretty crazy that it's lasted 50 years because a lot of the street course races we see in NASCAR or IndyCar are only temporary tracks. They're only, there for so and so many years until the city, changes governments and all that stuff. So just you know, survive through that many mayoral administrations to, see this track still, race still be on the schedule is amazing. And it says a lot about just the history of this race and, it just says something about the city in general. And I hope that, more cities can follow suit. I hope St. Pete is a track that, has this level of history at some point in time. And, just more street circuits in North America are like remain permanent schedules. But without further ado, let's dive into some paint schemes for this NASCAR, for the NASCAR weekend at Kansas. So I'm gonna be rating them throughout the time. So here we are. Let's dive into these paint schemes. All right, 9, 7, 7.5, 5. Keeping it classy, 8, 7.3, 7.3. 8.2. I love Chase Elliott's car, bro, but I'm gonna have to give it a 7.2. 9.4. 9.3. 7.5. 6.5. Ah! I like this. That's probably 9.5. 8. 8. 8.4. I don't like this paint scheme from Wood Brothers. I'm gonna have to give it a 6. 6.3. I like the cause, but 7, 6, 6, 8, 7, 8, 9, dude. Rocking with the Dollar Tree. 9, 6. Never even heard. Damn. 5. 5. Rock with it. 8.7. 8.2. Just look at 8. Well, 6, bro. 6 on that last one. 7 on that one. And then fucking 9 on the Denty. 6. Always love the Red Bull card. 9. 9.2. They're going pretty quick, dude. It's in there trying to rapid fire them ratings, dude. Trying to get the brain processing. But yeah, I mean, I rock with some of them, dude. I honestly don't. There's a few that I didn't like, let's see. I mean, that it's average, dude. I like Ryan Blaney, but that car's just average. The Grizzly and that red, white, and blue for the Hamlin is really nice. And that Wood Brothers paint, I'm not really like the biggest fan of it. I mean, it's nice and all, but like their classic Wood Brothers scheme is just so much more appealing to my eyes, for real. And then come on, Joey. What are you doing? The boys in here, it's nice. I don't know. I've never even heard of that brand Byron's rocking with, but I mean, there's some nice paint schemes in there for the week, and it's going to be cool to see them. I really like the Denty card. I think the paint scheme of the week, honestly, you can call me biased if you want, but the Baffle, bro, I love the Baffle. Baffle itself is also good. I had some Baffle last year, and it was really some luck of the draw. I highly recommend if you see it, no matter your financial situations, to grab it because, dude, you can resell a can to somebody for $10. So get you some Baffle this year. Try to find it. And I'm definitely buying this diecast. So, yeah, y'all are going to see me rocking this diecast here soon. But, yeah, that's really all we got for these paint schemes. You can comment below what your favorite paint scheme out of all these was. And, yeah, so let's dive into IndyCar before we go on to, NASCAR, make my predictions, deal with my fantasy team and all that. So they're racing at Long Beach this week. Um, Historical track. It's been there on the schedule the past 50 years. Uh, so we're gonna go over here. I think generally, I think it shows the last winner was somewhere. Uh, Here you go, driver performances. All right, perfect. So this is how we're gonna make my predictions. So Kyle Kirkwood, is the last winner. Where did my boy finish? Oh yeah, okay. Alex Blow finished third. Well, finished second last year, starting second. He has not won a Long Beach Grand Prix yet. Scott Dixon won 2024. Okay, so this is going to be, and this is for title implications. This is going to be a really interesting race. I know it's still early in the season, but gathering my predictions off this little chart right here. We'll take a look at the standings too. So 2 points. So yeah, this race, if we could see a title lead change right here. So Kyle Kirk was obviously ahead by 2 points. Winning last year, and I think Alex Below is going to be hungry, dude. He's not. He didn't start off as hard as he was last year, and he definitely realizes that he has a target on his back. He's probably the best driver in IndyCar right now, and coming into a crown jewel race, essentially, Alex Below definitely has some pressure on his back, especially not winning the Long Beach Grand Prix. Just the long history that it has to offer. I think Alex Below wants a Long Beach Grand Prix. He's been a lot of my predictions this year. So I'm definitely gonna have to keep it on Alex Below, bro. He's after just the consistency he's ran last year, and you know the knowing that he's going to have to step it up if he wants to keep this title in his hands. He's definitely going to have to win here at Long Beach. And Indy's one of those tracks that you get lucky at. He won there last year, so I don't think he's going to be able to win Indy again. And just winning big races like this, St. Pete, Long Beach, Indy, it's really helpful, towards your momentum and towards your confidence into that car going into this year. So I mean, it's going to be tough for Pelot to win because he definitely struggles at this track. He's not won yet. He's had a top three. Finished second last year. So let's see if he can fix that up and get a W. I really hope that he can. I wish Pato O'Ward is running a little bit better. I hope he gets a win this year. He's led 10 laps so far. If I'm not mistaken, everybody except a few people have led laps. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of people that's not led laps. But yeah, that's the difference in IndyCar. These cars are so similar, so it really just depicts down to the skill of the driver to how you do. So if that says anything about Pelot's dominant year last year, that's what I'm saying. That's why I have so much confidence in him to go out here and perform at the levels that he does. But it's time to dive into NASCAR. That's enough talking about IndyCar. So we're racing at Kansas this week, and we took a look at the standings in the last video. Tyler Reddick 62 points ahead of Ryan Blaney. Them Penske cars are looking pretty good for Kansas, from what I've been hearing, and I'm not going to make a full on prediction right now. But as we make a fantasy team, we'll definitely make my predictions. But yeah, SVG, he's going to have some. If he wants to stay in the playoffs, he can't just sit around and wait for these street course races to come on. He's definitely gonna have to perform on the ovals, and he struggles on the short tracks. But I think a track like Kansas, he'll be able to perform better. I'm not saying he's gonna get a top 10, but I'm saying that he can finish in a position to where he's not dropping in points I'm that confident in him. I feel like that he can do off something pretty good. Chase Elliott has been pretty successful at Kansas. Hendricks has just been struggling really in general. Chase the lone winner for Hendrick Motorsports this season. Uh, so yeah, I definitely think that he could probably perform better here, or Hendrick's cars in general. I feel like Kyle Larson probably could do something. William Byron, Hendricks in that 5, 6, 7 spot just shows how consistent of a team as they are. Uh, Ford is not having a good year, as you can tell, but yeah, them Penske cars are pretty on back there, except Logano and Blaney. But yeah, so let's dive into fantasy. Let's get these picks going. Still first in the league somehow. I don't know how. So if y'all want to join and screw me up for the year, I'm gonna replace Ross Chastain with Austin Dillon because Austin Dillon's been letting me down, bro. I've been I've been really hoping he could do something. Just not haven't really done anything yet. And y'all still remember my goal. I'm still trying to place in the top 100,000 in the world. That's the goal. I did it last year. I think I was like 75,000, 75,000. So we're gonna keep trying to inch up until we're number one in the whole world. That's the nah. We'll leave it eventually. But I'll put Chase on the bench. I don't want to use all of my usages for him right yet. But I like this team. I really like this team right here. I think this is gonna be my last usage for Blaney. I might just use right out Tyler Reddick just because he's so consistent at the front of the year. I feel like he's gonna die off at the end, sadly. So yeah, we're gonna save Blaney, save Larson and Elliott later on down the line. So I think we got a little solid team for this week, and we're gonna go through, make these little matchup things, and then after that we'll make my prediction. So Ty Gibbs or Bubba Wallace. So Ty Gibbs did just come off a win last week. Bubba Wallace, he's a good driver, but yeah, he just has little flare ups at the end of the race that kind of throws him off. So I'm gonna go Ty Gibbs. I think Ty Gibbs is starting to catches on his P's and Q's. Chase Elliott is consistent here. I have him on the bench because I don't want to get waste his uses unless he wins. If he gets the win, I'm going to put him in. But Chase Elliott being so consistent as he is here, I'm going to have to give it to Chase. Reddick and Larson, probably the two hottest drivers in the series right now. I'm going to definitely give it to Larson. Saying to avoid Ty Gibbs, but I'm not listening. Who's he going? Ty Gibbs. But it's okay. That is a little changer right there. But I mean, it's a new year, bro. It's a new year. Ty Gibbs has been running solid this year. So I mean, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. But we're gonna rock with it. And then Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney's really been doing good, real good this year. So my prediction for this race, I'm gonna have to say a Penske car is gonna win it. And I think Ryan Blaney's going to get his second win of the year. He ran real good last week in Bristol, and I think he's going to come off that momentum and definitely use the momentum he's had. To come out here, keep that car good and strong, especially at a speedway, and I think he can win this race. Ryan Blaney's very consistent on speedways, and I think that he can be the winner of this race. So, yeah, that's my predictions. But I'm going to give you my top three predictions, I guess. So coming in number three, I'm going to have to put. He's always there somehow. He's been there all year somehow. But I'm gonna have to give three to Tyler Reddick. Two, It's going to be a random being two. I think it's going to be Danny Hamlin, and one Ryan Blaney. Them Toyotas are so consistent. You can't help but put a Toyota in the top three this season. So yeah, we're gonna rock with that top three. Hopefully, if I'm right, I get 1 million subscribers and y'all start using my content to gamble with. So that's all we're gonna talk about for today, and I appreciate y'all sticking around. And we'll get back with y'all next week when we make the next videos. Appreciate it.